Hey everyone, my name is Madelynn Wood, and today I'm talking to you guys about anorexia nervosa. This is an eating disorder in which people starve themselves because of compulsive fear of gaining weight or being fat. This is a woman who suffers with anorexia. You can see she's very thin, but yet when she looks into the mirror, she finds a very large lady. She thinks things like, I'm fat, I'm a pig, I don't deserve to eat, all these negative ideas. In order to be diagnosed with anorexia, you have to follow the criteria of the DSM-5. There's three things. The first is that in your age range, you do not follow the average or above of weight. You're very, very below it. The second would be you have an intense fear of gaining weight or being fat even though you are underweight. The third would be you would have very negative thoughts about your body, not like the way you look. It's not just a one-day thing, it's all the time thing, but yet you still deny that you have a problem or you need help. So some health side effects of anorexia: you have pale skin, you don't like the cold very much, it bothers you, your hair will start to be brittle along with your nails being brittle and discolored, but you will develop all these dark black hairs on your body in order to keep some insulin in because you're losing all that heat because you don't have that fat to do that for you. You'll be fainting, stomach problems, inability to sleep, all these things because you're not getting that energy from the food you eat because you're not eating enough. Also for women, they will have disruption in their periods even if they have one at all because they don't have enough weight in order to keep that regular. If anorexia persists, it can lead to more things such as shrinking of the heart, kidney failure, brain damage, and even death because you need the proper nutrients in order to survive. So oftentimes these patients could end up dying, which is really sad. So what can cause anorexia? Anorexia stems from a lot of things. One big one is the social media, because you see these are models that are very, very thin and we want to be them, we want to be like them, we want their lives. So we think I have to be thin for that, and that can lead to this negative idea of yourself, which leads to anorexia or other eating disorders. Another one is sports. Sports is a big one too because you see certain size requirements, like in wrestling, you have to fit into the weigh-ins, or for dancing, you need to be able to be lifted. Things like that can lead to anorexia. Another thing is standards. Standards you place on yourself or standards that other people place on you, like your parents. If you don't think you're going to get there, you can't match these standards, you're never going to be there, you're going to have feelings like you're not good enough, or what can I do? So you might lead to something like anorexia because you don't think that you'll ever be good enough. But really what anorexia is it's a problem in the brain. So the mind creates a body image disturbance. So a body image disturbance consists of 4 different things: cognitive, affective, behavioral, and perceptual. The perceptual is when your body looks into you and says, hey, you are way, 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 way too big. So when you look in a mirror, you see a huge lady like she does or he does, but you're really thin. For your cognitive, you think negative thoughts, I'm fat, I'm a pig, stuff like that's constantly going through your brain. For your affective, so when you're confronted with your body, like when you wake up in the morning, your body places emotions of fear and disgust, which are 2 negative qualities you don't want to think about yourself, especially not when you're starting your day off. And the last one is behavioral. So this is things like checking your body in a mirror all the time, or excessively exercising. You're putting yourself through that because you don't want to have any extra ounce of fat after you eat. Extreme dieting is another one. Let's say you eat something but then you use laxatives later to clear it out of your system right away, or you just put it in your mouth, taste it, and spit it back out, so you're not really getting that nutrients you want, or you're just cutting out a lot of meals. Another one is wearing baggy clothing because you want to cover yourself up. You don't want people asking about your disorder. You don't want people even mentioning your body. You don't want anyone to say anything about it. So you just wear baggy clothes in hopes that they think you way more than you normally do. And also, you would just avoid examination of your body in general. So you don't really like going to the doctors. You don't want people to draw attention to your body or anything like that. So the treatment of this is often a difficult, long journey because less than 50% of young people with anorexia fully even recover. Oftentimes it leads to just other problems down the road, like bulimia or something like that. But people who suffer from anorexia either deny their condition or do not take it very seriously, like, oh, I'll eat later, or it's not a big deal, I promise. Collaboration with the medical and mental health professionals, along with the support system, whether it be friends or family, is super important, because the combination of all of these gets you healthy physically, mentally, and you have that support you need to go through this long process. Hospitalization sometimes does occur because it's a life-threatening malnutrition at some points, so you need to go to the hospital to make sure you can stay alive. So another type of approach to this is behavior modification, but I'll get back to that. So basically this is a call to action for people because it's a serious condition. It's a mental condition that people are not just saying, I'm too skinny, I want a summer body. It's way more deep than that. It's for men and women, because men make up 10 to 15% of all cases. It's not just girls. It's all around the world, and it's super serious, and that's why I want you guys to check in on your family members, your friends, all those around you. It's not always the easiest conversation to have. You don't want to be like, hey, you got anorexia? You look a little skinny. That's not the way you'd approach it, but just make sure that they're doing okay. Like, how are you doing? Are you eating? Stuff like that. And if you have any questions or want more information, I looked at the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa, the ANAD, super great organization, nonprofit that has a lot of more information that can show you how to help people or find help yourself. So you never know what you can do to help somebody, even if it's just checking another day. So originally my handout would have been a warning sheet of anorexia, so like signs of eating disorders. So this leads into my 3 L's. So I developed 3 L's that I thought that could be very helpful for helping friends and helping yourself too. So look for these warning signs of anorexia or eating disorder. See if they're having excessive food restriction, secretively exercising all the time, preferring to eat meals alone, or prepares food for you but doesn't eat themselves. Listen to them. Listen to see if they're talking about their body negatively, or if they keep mentioning their body, or even if they're not speaking at all, like if they keep not going to your dinner plans that you keep making all the time, stuff like that. Listen for that. And the last one is love. Love is so important. It can help change a person's life forever. Just love each other. Make sure that they know that they're loved too. So for my activity, I wanted you guys to do a little reflection. So I have right here some notes, and I want you guys to look into the mirror and just reflect on what you think when you look into the mirror. Just glance, give a little smile. That's it. So write what you think right now. So usually it's going to be more positive, like, oh, I look cute today, or oh, I like my hair, something like that. And the next couple sentences I'm going to read to you, I want you guys to reflect on that. So if you need to pause at any time, feel free to pause. So one is, you look big in that. Maybe try a different outfit. Nobody will talk to you looking like that. When's the last time you worked out? Did you really all of that? And when you reflect on this, usually after these last statements, you find a very negative tone into your answers, a lot less positive than the first answer, just looking into yourself. Or if somebody were to call you beautiful today, you might find a way positive reaction of looking to the mirror. So this just proves to you how important words are and what you say. So maybe instead of saying you look big in that, if you have a comment on that you like their color of their shirt. Not something negative that's going to point out their body that they usually can't change or fix right away. Or let's say the eating one. If they ate a lot that day, say, hey, I noticed you ate a lot. You must have been hungry. I'm glad you ate today. Just stuff like that that shows them that you're loved and cared for, not discouraging them in any way. And the last little note I have is I want you guys to please look into the movie called To the Bone. It's a case about anorexia. Lily Collins is the girl. She's right here and here. It's a really good movie that follows her through her journey in behavior modification, which is what I told you one of the treatments is. So she lives in this house that is sponsored by a doctor where she doesn't have a lot of necessities around her except for the basics. She has a bed, she has a desk, but there's no electronics, there's nothing that she can harm herself with. And in this house, they are encouraged to eat, and when they eat and gain weight, they are able to have rewards. So they're rewarded for these kind of things. It's a reward system. So let's say you ate and you gain a pound, so you would get some points, and maybe you could go walk outside to town and back. So that's one example, but they never force you to eat, and obviously everything is like nutritious that they're eating going to help them in the long run, and not just like 3 bowls of ice cream saying, eat, you'll be healthy then. It's not like that. It's always something healthy that can help benefit them. They're never going to force them to eat because that's not ethical. But if they do eat and gain weight, then they get rewarded. So she's going through that journey, and you get to see how that ends up for her. It's just a great movie, and we got a lot of time now, so maybe pick that up, watch it. Tell me what you think, and if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me. I'd love to answer, and just remember that mental health matters, and I hope you guys are all doing okay during this time. Thanks.